Hello everyone and welcome to the STAR Mentoring Program. In this video, I want to go over reference types in Java. So we've already gone over primitive types, which are like char, int, byte, float, double, all of these types of variables. And notice my code editor right here is making all of these red. So in this video, we're going to go over what reference types are. Rather than primitive types, reference types are actually classes. We'll understand what that means later, but basically, since they're classes, reference types are always going to start with a capital letter. And um, so basically, one example of a reference type is a date. So I've created a date right here, and you'll notice whenever I type this in, a lot of reference types, almost all of them, require you to import from somewhere. So you're going to see there's lots of options that are coming up. There's lots of things that have date, and these are all inside of various Java things. And the date I want is this one right here from java.util. And this right here now says import java.util.date. These dots right here actually represent folders. It's like folders on a computer. So it's saying in the Java, um, and this is just a thing that Java has by default, and then inside of the util folder, and then inside of the date class. Notice all of these folders right here, um, they're all just going to be exactly one word, and they're all lowercase. And then whenever we finally get to a class, then it's capitalized. And if we go look, like let's say there were some other ones that came up here, like date editor. This one right here is all caps. And this is the class it's in as well. It's JSpinner, yeah, because this is also a class. So just like that, I want to see this real quick. No, we can't view it, but yeah, that's right there. So I want to now have my date, right? So I have my date, and that's the type because it's type name equals value. So let's give it a name. We'll call it, how about now? Now, whenever we create a reference type, we must allocate memory for it. So with all those primitive data types, we didn't have to do this, but with this one, we have to specifically allocate memory. And the way you do that is by typing in the word new. We've typed in new, and now we can create a new date. So I want to create a new date. You could see these are called constructors. We'll learn more about these later. For now, I want to pick this one right here. Additionally, I could also just type it in, and we're going to put a left and right parentheses to basically signify that we're constructing a new variable. And then, of course, don't forget your semicolon. Now, I've just created my new date called now, and you'll notice basically the reason this is called a reference type is because instead of actually being the value of this now is a reference to a new date. So that's what that new keyword does, and it's important to kind of know the distinction between it. So whenever we're creating int value equals say 1, this is the value 1, but this now is basically it's just a reference to this new date. It's not actually the new date. And that doesn't generally change things because Java will automatically deal with that for you, but it just matters sometimes to know that little bit of distinction because it'll come into play a little bit later how we can use that distinction to um, make things different. So we've created our new date. Another example, and this one is not going to work, but say we wanted to create a motor in FTC. We create a motor. Let's put on a comment. It's not going to work. So motor, and we'll call it front left drive motor equals new motor. And let's say, just like that, perfect. We created a new motor. And let's say, I don't know, for this motor we had to give it the port number. So let's say, I don't know, it was 4. Perfect. Just like that. And so that is how you can use these types. And you'll see right here, I can print out this time by going in system.out.println, and we can go now. I can print out this now variable, and let's watch what happens. You're going to see it's going to print out the time that is right now. It says Friday, June 9th at 16:30:09 UTC. 2023. So we can also run things on these variables. So since these are reference types, if we type in dot, then we can actually access lots of things on these. So for example, we could do, how about get time? Now if we run this, I think it's going to say the exact same thing. No, it doesn't. This is I believe it's what is it called? This is basically the second since, a certain date. What date was it? It is called the Unix epoch time. It's basically the number of seconds that have passed since January 1st. So I'm gonna look that up right now. Let's see, what is it right now? I'm just doing this just to verify that this is actually working. It says right here, this is the result I just got. This is from a website though, so I think it's probably a little bit out of date, but you could see the first digits at least line up because it hasn't been that long since that Google thing was updated. So yeah, this is the number of milliseconds since January 1st, 1970, just like that. So if I hover over it, it actually tells me what this does. So this right here is actually called a method, and it is just one of the things we can use whenever we use these reference types. So they're actually very powerful tools, and in the next video, we're going to be learning about one of the most common reference type known as the string reference type.